I just asked him if it was dangerous and he just went... Very reassuring. Doing that for 8 hours, my God. I'm on a bridge in the middle of the jungle, straddling one of the largest rivers in Latin America. These are the waters of the Orinoco Basin, and I'm here because this week they're playing host to the longest speedboat race in the world. There's 120 speedboats racing nearly 900 miles. And the craziest thing of all is that all of this is taking place in Venezuela.
A country on the verge of collapse, in the grip of a severe economic and humanitarian crisis. Surely not the time or place to be indulging in an expensive hobby like powerboat racing. This annual event is little known outside of the dwindling ranks of the Venezuelan elite. Despite their country spiraling into economic and political chaos, they're carrying on a 4-decade tradition of speeding across the country in expensive boats while guzzling cheap beer and expensive whiskey.
Vamos a ser los campeones del rally.
But for most Venezuelans, everyday life is intolerable. Food and medicine are dangerously scarce, while crime, inflation, and unemployment rates are dangerously high. And when we arrived, 1 million people had just flooded the streets of Caracas to demand the ouster of Venezuela's authoritarian president, Nicolas Maduro. In an attempt to suppress media coverage of the march, the government was deporting foreign journalists on arrival. Because we came to film a speedboat race, we slipped through the dragnet. But in Venezuela, not even something as prosaic as a boat race can avoid being co-opted by politics. Hence why we weren't the only TV crew on this bridge.
Estamos en el puente María Nieves.
Desperate to divert attention from the growing anti-government protests in Caracas, state television was bizarrely recasting this phalanx of well-heeled Venezuelans as foot soldiers in the socialist revolution.
La gente de este rally, nuestros ríos son navegables, han sido y son soñadores como lo fue nuestro comandante.
We avoided the protest and immediately hit the road.
Here I am, on my way out of Caracas. We're barreling towards the Orinoco Basin. It's going to be a 5-hour drive out to this boat race.
Each day, the boats raced to a remote location along the river where we would spend the night.
So far away from the city and the crowds and the nightmare is this rather pleasant countryside.
I was about to spend a week bombing down rivers on the longest speedboat race in the world with Venezuela's 1%. But the accommodations were to be Spartan.
Apparently we have to camp in someone's courtyard or something. This looks fun.
This village has limited running water and electricity, but every year the locals offer up their backyards for the racers to pitch their tents.
That's going to be me in the middle of the night. Come on. Doesn't help to scratch. Hola.
Hola.
Charlotte. Good to meet you.
Estamos en la población de Cunaviche, es la primera parada de nuestro río navegable y aquí vamos a hacer vamos a acampar. Entonces bajamos todas las cosas porque aquí vamos a estar más seguros todos nosotros.
Safety is a constant conversation during the race, and our military escort was never far away. Venezuela has one of the highest murder rates in the world, and kidnappings for ransom have risen 170% in just the last year. So a load of expensive speedboats moving throughout the region en masse is like blood in shark-infested water. Because while these boats may not look super flashy, those who own them, doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, businessmen, have it all in a country where everyone else has nothing.
Beef of Venezuela, in Cunaviche.
Thank you so much. Where shall I put my tent?
If you any place, hormiguero, hormigas.
Hormigas.
Yeah,
It's bad.
no good.
Okay. So yeah, we've got to put our tents up before it gets dark. Never put a tent up before. Powerboat racing and camping. Get you a girl who can do both.
I was quickly learning that while these racers might have money, there was nothing pretentious about them, as they got down and dirty, leaving me in the dust with their party stamina. It got way past my bedtime, so I retreated to my tent to try to sleep, but lay there listening to the music, which never stopped. By way of a wake-up call, they simply turned up the volume at dawn.
No vamos a dormir nunca completo en el rally. En el rally lo que hacemos es reposar, descansar. Así tan normal es el rally.
It's too exciting to sleep.
No, jamás vas a dormir completo.
Every day we'd be hitching a ride on a different boat. The race was divided into several categories, including speed, endurance, family, even jet skis, and appropriately, a prize for the best party boat.
Is this your first time at this rally?
No. Tengo aproximadamente 15 rally, que más bien es una cuestión familiar de tradición.
Are you competing at all this year?
Y en general facilitar todo lo que es la logística que se lleva a cabo en un rally de esta magnitud. Y cualquier contingencia que ocurra en el rally, nosotros estamos en condición de atender.
We were at the mercy of Mother Nature. The Amazonian Delta is fairly hostile territory, and it's easy to get lost in the tributaries, with hidden rocks lurking under the surface, ready to crush the dreams of inattentive racers. Only about half the boats make it through the week. Some of these machines reach speeds of around 100 miles per hour. Miss Twister is a highly organized team with a powerful racing catamaran. The captain runs a tight ship, leaving nothing to chance.
Para este evento nosotros duramos 4 o 5 meses preparándonos, viajando, buscando repuestos, preparando los motores en su máximo nivel. Como todos los años nos presentamos a ganar, hay niveles de competencia altos, pero nos preparamos con altos estándares para poder ganar la competencia este año.
The team Sarataka, while no less confident in their abilities, take a slightly different approach.
Sarataka quiere decir que uno anda medio borracho. Somos campeones 5 veces.
How many whiskies?
How many whiskey?
That's a lot of whiskies.
How many whiskey?
In this box.
Mucho whiskey.
Mucho whiskey.
Mucho whiskey.
Mucho whiskey. And why whiskey?
Porque es más sabroso. Nos encanta el whisky por salud. Salud muy bueno.
What makes a champion? Is it whiskey?
No, la perseverancia y que definitivamente nos dicen que somos unos bochincheros, desordenados, pero a la larga somos ordenados, porque andamos 5 amigos aquí.
What were the challenges that were here this year that weren't in previous years?
Mira, el desafío fue crucial. El desafío definitivamente, no encontramos repuestos, no encontramos, fíjate, el motor cargó un filtro del año pasado, no se encuentra en Venezuela. La situación del país no está muy buena. No quiero hablar de la política para mí definitivamente no es lo necesario. Lo necesario es ser feliz y tener paz en mi tierra como la tengo ahorita. Disfrutar mi rally, disfrutar a Venezuela como lo estoy haciendo en estos momentos. Esto es bello. ¿Les parece?
We've come here to refuel. I've never seen anything like it. You see, there's a tanker up on the bridge, and then there's all these pipes just leading down to the water, and that's how people are refueling. I haven't seen a toilet since I left Caracas Airport. I've had to become very resourceful in how and when and where I empty my bladder. It wasn't easy to start with, but today I've found 3 unique ways to pee that I've never done before, in a bucket, in the woods, and off the back of a boat, to name just 3. So don't believe the hype. We have choice here in Venezuela. Capitalism is alive and well.
Up on the bridge, I met Daniel, the race president.
Nuestro evento echa combustible en sitios donde no tiene las debidas herramientas. Y por eso tenemos que tener movimientos de mangueras. El suministro está garantizado por la empresa del Estado PDVSA. Acá en Venezuela es 0.01 centavos de dólar. ¿Okay? Tenemos la gasolina aún de un aumento que hicieron hace poco, la gasolina sin lugar a dudas más barata del mundo. Bueno, un litro de agua, de tomar, un litro de agua envasada, vale muchísimo más que un litro de gasolina.
Daniel wasn't exaggerating. Venezuela sits on the largest proven oil reserves in the world. All of that production is controlled by the government, which subsidizes the price of fuel. Meanwhile, bottled water isn't subsidized, and government-mandated price controls have ensured that it's expensive and hard to come by. Even on this race, we were constantly drinking weak beer, which is more readily available, in a futile attempt to quench our thirst.
This is Urbanita. It doesn't look very urban, does it? Irony of the name Urbanita is not lost on me.
As I looked for a spot to pitch my tent for the night, we were summoned to an initiation ceremony, a sort of hazing ritual for first-timers on the race.
I have to give you this. I have to give you this because apparently something bad will happen to it otherwise.
Vayan con Dios.
Ve.
Oh, you're all gross. Come on.
She makes it look good.
And no race day was complete without a party deep into the night.
Morning.
We stop for a minute. It's day 2. Already the landscape's complete. 3, is it? Yeah. It's day 3. Already the landscape has transformed gradually. It's basically jungle. You can really feel that we're in like the lungs of the world. We're on our way to Colombia just for one day. It's only half an hour away.
While the competition was still going strong, this stop in Colombia had nothing to do with the race. This was a shopping trip, a chance for these Venezuelans to fill their boats with provisions to take home after the race was finished. Because not even the Venezuelan elite are exempt from shortages.
We've seen so many of the races, people with means, people who have money, but there's just nothing to buy in Venezuela, stocking up here on bags of rice, boxes of vegetable oil, bags of sugar. It's crazy because everything's available here. How difficult is it to find this stuff in Venezuela right now?
No se consigue. Si lo consigue, bachaqueado. Uno solo desodorante piden 5 o 6 mil bolívares. Y la caja de 6, 7 mil bolívares. 6 desodorantes, 7 bolívares.
Even if you have relative wealth in Venezuela, does it make it any easier to stock up on basic necessities?
No es fácil.
Everybody's in the same boat.
Todo. Puede tener el dinero, pero no tiene dónde comprarlo.
It's been really, really hard to get cash in Venezuela because dollars are basically illegal. It's illegal to exchange dollars for bolívares, the local currency. And it's just also a nightmare. There's no infrastructure to help us do that. Can I exchange 100 US? $100? Gracias. Gracias. 20? 40. This is kind of on the very edge of legality because bolivars aren't meant to cost that much, but this is 100 US dollars. I can't do this any more subtly. I mean, anywhere else in the world, obviously you can just pay on your card, but if I was to do that here, I'd be getting the official government-regulated currency exchange rate, which is 12 bolivares to $1. So you've got to do it in cash to get the street value, which is 1,000 bolivares per $1.
With their boats stocked full of Colombian toilet paper and toothpaste, everyone turned their attention back to the race. The booze-fueled Sarataca had broken down and dropped out.
First boat's coming in.
But the disciplined favourite, Miss Twister, was repeatedly the first boat to arrive each day.
That noise makes me feel funny. This is crazy. We're on a bus driving off-road in the torrential rain to visit an indigenous community that lives in this sort of Amazonian region. Because part of the race is to provide sort of social work, social services for those more needy. I call it a bus, I should have said party bus. This is wild.
The racers were providing aid in the form of free medical care. Many people blame the government for the state of the country, so it felt strange posing for photos during the gifting of government-branded desk calendars and T-shirts to some of those most affected by Venezuela's economic nightmare.
What are you doing?
Inferior, que tiene una pérdida de sustancia gasificada muy elevada y voy a hacer una cirugía simple. El acceso es muy poco para que ellos lleguen al hospital o a cualquier CDI del Estado y nosotros, nuestros ríos son navegables, hacemos todo eso todos los años.
Emperor Nero was criticized for playing the fiddle while Rome burned. So in spite of the altruistic intentions of the racers, a speedboat race on the Orinoco, underwritten by a government being protested by millions, could be seen as partying while Venezuela drowned.
The minute I stepped off the boat, one of my fellow racers said to me, "Take your earrings off, hide your necklaces." It's funny, because I mean, yes, I can hide my jewellery, but it's going to be a bit harder to hide those very expensive boats moored up in the harbour.
To better understand the relationship between the race and its government sponsor, I caught up with one of the racers who helps lead the relief effort each year.
The race is funded by sponsors, and one of those is the government oil company. And I noticed you were handing out things on behalf of the oil company. Does that mean that you work for the government?
No, en ningún momento no. Simplemente buscamos esos sponsors que tú dices. De manera de aprovecharlos, tratamos de gastar lo menos posible en cuanto a la movilización del equipo, pero todo es designado realmente a las comunidades que nosotros visitamos.
Why would the government want to be associated with an event like this?
Por publicidad. Y no queda otra. No por acciones, simplemente es una publicidad que quiere proyectar de alguna forma a través de usted, a través de el medio que esté, de que todo está bien y no está bien.
It felt hypocritical that a government willing to bask in the reflected glory of this race also placed hating rich people at the heart of its ideology. Denouncing the rich was a key political strategy of Hugo Chavez, the founding father of Bolivarianism.
Condenen a los ricos. Ser rico es malo. Es inhumano.
Y todos los días andan bebiendo whisky, casi todos los días.
y droga, cocaína y viajan. Pero es una cultura, ¿ves? Fiesta.
And Nicolas Maduro, Chavez's hand-picked successor, is peddling the same message today.
Son unos apátridas. Son unos apátridas.
And as Venezuela spirals further towards complete collapse, the government still relies on this narrative, transferring blame from its own mismanagement of the economy to a shadowy cabal of elites. This race has been running since the 70s. To get a sense of how things had changed over the years, I spoke to veteran racer Joaquin Sanchez, who has hardly missed a single event in 3 decades.
You've been to about 30 of these races. Is this year especially different because of the economic situation?
Bueno, mira, por supuesto que sí. Muchas personas pues no se pueden permitir participar en el rally por eso. Pero lo que pasa es que desde hace ya 17 años aquí se ha tratado de imponer un régimen comunista. Y eso ha significado lo que ha pasado en otros países como en Rusia, en Corea, en Cuba, que lo que eso ha traído es deterioro de la economía, pero seguimos haciendo el rally y confiamos en que lo vamos a seguir haciendo, porque estamos seguros que pronto van a venir tiempos mejores.
But better times couldn't feel further away for most Venezuelans.
We've woken up after no sleep in our motel. I can't decide if it would have been best to camp. My poor producer woke up and there's not an inch of her legs that aren't covered in bedbug bites.
La ley respetando la virtud y honor. Gloria al bravo pueblo que el yugo lanzó. La ley respetando la virtud y honor.
There'd be speedboats, they said. You're going on a glamorous speedboat race, Charlotte. We need oil for the engine, so we're stranded here currently. I'm a bit broken. I'm in that phase where the nihilism is setting in. Throughout this race, we're stopping off in places that are arguably some of the worst hit by the economic situation here. How does it make you feel, what you've seen?
Mira, tenemos decenas de años viniendo por aquí y estos pueblos recibían la llegada del rally con alegría. En esta oportunidad lo noté porque a mí me gusta patear el pueblo, que la gente decía, esos carajos son multimillonarios. Yo oyendo, esa lancha vale más que mi casa. Eso no se oía antes. Ese tipo de resentimiento. Este país, a pesar de todo lo que nos hagan, a pesar de todas las limitaciones, a pesar de, para no entrar en profundidades de las dificultades que hay, aquí hay un pueblo valiente, que vibra, no joda.
Este ciclo, estos 2 últimos años, hemos podido lograr pues organizar un evento que es sumamente complicado por la Venezuela que tenemos actualmente. Pero es gracias al apoyo de todos ustedes que nosotros seguimos, el cariño que sentimos, que nosotros seguimos trabajando con mucho esfuerzo físico, con mucho esfuerzo mental, pero con mucha satisfacción de realizar un evento que bien vale la pena hacerlo. Venezuela está hecho para grandes cosas y nuestros ríos son navegables es ejemplo de eso. Un aplauso a todos ustedes, parte de la Junta Directiva.
Why is it so important to push that message that the rivers are navigable?
Es por eso que queremos proyectar que Venezuela es más allá a nivel turístico, tiene mucho más potencial turístico que lo que se puede proyectar a nivel mundial, a nivel político. Esta es otra cara de Venezuela y esto es lo que nosotros queremos dar a entender. Este año fue mucho más duro, como repito, que años anteriores a nivel económico, a nivel logístico. Gracias a Dios, bueno, contamos con patrocinantes y tantos privados como entes gubernamentales que nos apoyen. Para nosotros, bueno, no escapa, o sea, la política no escapa de nuestros ríos. Estábamos sumamente preocupados, pero bueno, a su vez también seguimos haciendo nuestro evento. En Venezuela es muy difícil, ahorita, últimamente, llevar algún evento apolítico. O sea, estamos muy agradecidos a nivel de la organización de que ustedes se hayan atrevido a venir acá a Venezuela y que se lleven una cara diferente de lo que pueden haber percibido a nivel internacional.
It's the last day of the race. I can't believe it. I can't believe we've made it. Day 7. This is the sprint leg. So all the people in the racing category who've been saving their engines for this moment to try and win the sprint. That also means that we have to go a lot faster than we've been going for the past week to keep up with them. It's going to set off any moment. We don't know who's going to win. I'm really excited. Everyone, the mood has really changed. The party is over. People are like tinkering with their engines. It's very serious now, serious business. Oh no, there's a problem with our engine. Can I help?
Así es el rally. ¡Llegamos fino!
Coño de la madre.
¿Cómo menos eso? ¿Qué te pasó al mundo? Sí, ahí venía ahí fino. No tienes nada adelante, Maldonado. Voy a ver que no tenga nada adelante. Porque no da nada.
When we determined the boat wasn't going to start, we had no choice but to abandon ship if we were going to make it to the finish line in time to watch the winning boats coming in. We eventually made it to the final destination of the race, where a lavish party was unfolding at the finish line. At last, everyone was able to let their hair down in style. Everyone except me, that is.
This is the finish line. We're all here peering into the horizon, trying to see which boat's coming first. It should be arriving any minute. It's a very charged atmosphere right now. Oh my God, I can't believe it! Their hard work paid off.
As predicted, Miss Twister took first place.
There was only one winner, but on this race, the cliché rang true. This week, it truly was the taking part that counts.
The race is over and I'm just about in one piece. I've been pushed out of my comfort zone, and that's been hard. This is a country where daily life is devoid of comfort zones. And the people I've spent the week with have chosen to spend their spare time struggling on this logistically challenging rally. Venezuelans have a profound love for their country. And in a way, this rally sort of provides a way for them to reconnect with their beloved homeland and reclaim their Venezuela, which, to be honest, their government's been doing a stellar job of squandering over the past decade. This rally has to be one of the most challenging to pull off anywhere in the world. And yet, I can't imagine this happening anywhere else, not only because Venezuela offers the rivers to support such a race, but perhaps because of the tenacious nature of the Venezuelan people My hat goes off to them. This could only happen in Venezuela.